Today we're going to be thinking about one of the most important processes on planet Earth. That process is known as the water cycle. Simply put, the water cycle is the transfer of water from the Earth's surface into the lower layers of Earth's atmosphere, and the return of that water in the form of rain and snow and hail and sleet back down to the Earth's surface. There are some key words that we'll return to while we're thinking about the water cycle. These words are evaporation, water vapour and condensation. To help us explore the water cycle in a bit more detail, we're going to be making models. And to the right of the screen you can see a model of planet Earth and its atmosphere that I made earlier on. The green tray is watertight. That means no water can escape from the bottom, so there are no holes in the bottom of this tray. There are some rocks to represent mountains, some soil and compost to represent there's landmass, and you might make out some faces on some of the smaller rocks to represent the human population there. The yogurt tub has water in it and a whale, a small figure of a whale to represent the world's oceans and life below water. The plastic that you can see surrounding this tray at the moment was covering the entire planet, so all the way around, over the top, and in this case underneath as well, and it was sealed. You can probably just see the parcel tape there that sealed it all perfectly shut. Now our model is reflecting how the Earth's atmosphere wraps itself around Earth and prevents water and Earth's gases escaping out into space. So our atmosphere is really important to life on Earth, and it's one of the things that makes planet Earth so special. So I would like you to make your own model of planet Earth. I'll suggest that you go to your recycling bins. That's where I find lots and lots of useful resources. In this case I found a milk bottle carton that I have cut down to the size you see now. I've got a glass jar. I have some stones that I found in the garden, and I've got a plastic bag or a freezer bag, and I'll be using that as the atmosphere. So we've got planet Earth represented by the milk carton. At the moment we've just got some very dry compost in there. I'm going to add a little bit of water to represent the rivers and the lakes that we have on planet Earth. I'm going to fill up the glass jar with water, and that will represent the oceans. In this case, the glass jar is taking up a lot of space in the model, and it's, in that sense, it's much more accurate than the one with the green tray. As we know, the Earth's surface is 7/10 water, so our model really should have a lot of water in it. The rocks can go in as to represent mountains, and we've got a few funny faces again that can go in to represent humans. What I will do next is put the whole planet inside the plastic bag or inside the atmosphere, and I will tie it very tightly so no water, no gases can escape from our planet, and I'll sit it out in the sunshine to see what happens. So over here I've got a model of planet Earth and its atmosphere that's been sitting in the sun for a while. The sun has been warming up the planet and the gases around it, and very importantly it has been warming up the water that's on the Earth's surface. You can see that the plastic, the atmosphere, is no longer clear, it's all foggy. That is because some of the water has evaporated from the surface. So it has been warmed up, it's been turned into water vapour, which is lighter than the air, and it can rise up as an invisible gas up into the sky. When it starts to cool and droplets start to hit one another and join up to become bigger droplets, we might see that in the form of clouds. So let's have a look at what's actually been happening inside the model. It's closed over with a peg, but also with a very tight knot at the top to stop the gases and the water escaping. I'm going to snip that off because I couldn't unfasten it, it's so tight now, and we'll get to see what's been happening. So you can see the fogginess on the inside of the atmosphere. That is condensation. That's where the water vapour has made contact with a cool surface, the plastic bag or the colder part of the atmosphere, and it has been turned back into larger water droplets, which we might see in the sky as clouds. In this case, we see it as condensation against the plastic. It feels quite warm inside that plastic bag. It has been sitting out in the sun, and the water vapour and the condensation is actually a little bit warmer than the air around us. You can see in this case I had only a little milk bottle top for the oceans, a tiny bit of water in there, but it was enough to create all that moisture on the plastic bag. I have a mountain. I've got some very damp compost in there to represent the rivers and the lakes and the ponds that you would find on planet Earth. And of course we have Mickey Mouse on our planet. So Mickey Mouse is in my model planet. I would really like you to have a go at making your own model. Use scrap materials where you can. Think about what is on planet Earth, but think very carefully about the amount of water you are going to add to your planet and how much water you are going to add. Remember, in reality, our planet's surface is 7/10 water. You could have a bit of fun with what you decide to put inside your planet model. It might have Mickey Mouse, it might have whales, it could have all kinds of things. But still want you to think about these important words: evaporation, the changing of water into an invisible gas called water vapour, and condensation, the changing back into a water form when the air or the gas begins to cool down. Think about how it's going to return to the planet. It's up in the sky. Water is much heavier than air, so when it turns into a water form, then it will fall from the sky in one form or another. So play about with your models, and hopefully you will get a better understanding of that process called the water cycle.